Wow, a 40% chance of medicine working. How reassuring. Well, this got philosophical rather quickly, didn't it? I wonder if someone else will catch that reference. By the way, if you are familiar with the subject but still doesn't get it, this is a Lovecraftian game, if you couldn't tell by the title. You and me both, buddy. I was going to say that like I hate these kinds of people, but no, I don't. Because I can see that they're just passionate and they really just are doing this out of kindness. They've seen something that they consider amazing and they want you to experience it as well. But I don't know. Anytime a person tells me that, no, you need to see this, I just am immediately turned off of whatever it is. A guy was really insistent when I was in high school that I should play Undertale. To this day, I have never touched that game exactly because I found him so annoying. So again, I get it. I don't think that these are bad people or whatever, but I just really dislike this kind of attitude. Are you sure you were watching a horror flick and not like, you know? But then again, 80s horror flicks are pretty much just live action hentai, so I'm relating to this way more than I'm comfortable with. I'll be real. What a nice friend. That's worrying, to say the least. Though bros before hoes and all that. Personally, I still wouldn't be so quick to dismiss it, but okay. God, I absolutely hated these teachers that would just humiliate students for no reason. It would be especially frustrating if you like like I saw both myself and a lot of other students. Sometimes we didn't study for a class because we were studying for another class. So it's not that we even weren't studying. We just had to organize our time and in order to be able to actually get through everything. So this kind of comment was just annoying, man. I really hated teachers like that. Fortunately, I didn't get assigned too many, but each time I did, I hated it, bro. Just anyway. Oh yeah, I also had some really creepy teachers that would just say stuff like that out of nowhere. I wonder if my own school wasn't a bit screwed up as well, just like at these games. Never saw any eldritch entities there, but well, given their nature, you never know, right? God is has been happening for so long that the moment he mentioned the name, he already knew what the problem was. Public school just hit different, man. Damn, dude, calm down. I dislike her as well, but we don't need to go that far, Jesus. Again, I really question the kinds of movies you're watching. I say that as if I didn't do the same thing when I was like 15. Anyway, typical horror movie cliche stuff of like ignoring a problem until it literally bites your head off. Nah, you know what? I take it back. I actually agree with Chase. Fuck this bitch. I like the little detail that medicine worked and now he is slowly beginning to see colors. And not only does that manifest in like her dress and the apple, but also in the character sprite. I don't know, I just think it's a neat detail. One thing I like about this game, and I'll be showcasing all endings so you get to see, is that your choices actually matter. Every one of the choices I've been making has been added to a little counter that needs to be filled up to a certain point to get a particular ending. Depending on your choices and one specific action you need to do at the end, they determine the endings you will get. So, yeah, unlike some other games I've played, all your choices are actually really important in this game, which is something I quite like. One, that escalated quickly, and two, obviously not. I didn't do this. Hell no. It certainly wasn't me, and I'd like to believe it wasn't you, so. Girl, are you serious? I get that there's a killer on the loose, but are you really going to stay in the room with all the dead bodies? For real? Oh no, I would definitely love to just randomly die and have to do all this shit again. Yes, I would like to save it. Swear to Christ. Should I just steal the flag? Of course you should. And I'm sure it will be used very respectfully for a totally not bullshit puzzle. If you couldn't tell by my previous save, I've played this game before. I actually played it before, like a long time ago. It used to be one of my favorite RPG Maker games. Though now that I'm an adult, I guess, I can see a lot of issues with it that I did not, absolutely did not remember or like perceive when I was younger. But I'm going on a tangent again, sorry. Also, so this has happened before. Great. And you didn't notify anyone of this because I'm starting to think you're really suspicious, Chase. Again, how do you know about all this? And if you do, then why didn't you? I'm really starting to question this guy. Well, I don't know why you have to go learn about it when you're apparently such an expert already, but okay. See, what did I tell you? You are absolutely not safe in this room. What were you even thinking? You just said you were going to help me, so are you? Whatever, man. I just don't question it. She just said she will help, but apparently she still feels safe there despite having just been attacked by something. Just I don't like being sexist. I genuinely don't, but sometimes you just gotta. There are some situations where you just gotta go like woman, like in that meme, and just move on because there is no other explanation. Also, my sexism apparently prevented me from noticing the giant monster eyes just staring at me. I'm not even like getting close to that door. No way. Well, that's what you get from judging a book by its cover, I guess. Literally. Well, didn't open any secret doors, but it certainly revealed a pretty important clue, so I guess it was useful in a way. Well, guess we have our main objective already, which is to get into this room somehow without dying. So now my question is, how do you know that protagonist? Why is everyone in this game so suspicious, I swear? Now, with that clue, you think we would use the cord we just got and we would like wrap the flag around the ventilation system in order for us to be able to effectively poison the building, right? But unfortunately, this game operates under moon logic, so can you guess how we will actually uh, be solving this puzzle? I'll give you a bit to try and guess. That's right, we gotta go into the bathroom, okay? And then we gotta soak the flag so that it sticks to the ventilation pipe. I legit got stuck for a good 15 minutes trying everything I could so I could solve this puzzle, only for it to have the most nonsensical and out of nowhere solution ever. And those are the kinds of flaws I was talking about that made me not consider this one of my favorites anymore. I still like it, I still think it's a good game that you all should try out, but it's definitely not one of my favorites anymore. Obviously, you need to close off all the vents. The whole point of the puzzle is that you need to close off all the vents so that the only room that's actually poisoned is the one with the monster. So I'm pretty sure I got them all, but just out of precaution I will be checking it. And all good. Now time to poison the building. Oh, right. Well, apparently it did kill the monster, so obviously that rune is poison now, so even without the monster I can't stay there for too long due to this. So yeah, I'll have to regularly check a few things and then exit the room, which is why you see me doing that. Anyway, let's just go already. And exit. Damn it. Well, thankfully I saved like shortly beforehand, so hopefully I can be quick enough now. Phew. Now let's go open that well. Let's tell Chase about it first. Damn, what a friend. Just, yeah, go in alone, dude. Just go check this suspicious and probably monster infested well alone. Why not? Anyway, I guess it would be a good thing since she agreed to help me to tell her before as well. I mean, you really shouldn't, but I guess we don't have much choice in this case. And that's where we use this, I guess. Run, 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 run. And now literal darkness is after me. How nice. That should hold up literal darkness, yeah. Totally makes sense. That's also one of the parts that I don't like about this game. If you try to talk to them without boarding up the door, even though there should be plenty of time before the darkness arrives for you two to run, the characters won't even talk to you. You just get an instant game over if you don't do that. And the game doesn't telegraph this to you at all. You are never tested with or like told that you can move any other object in the scenery before this, so I think I've made my previous point well enough by now. And not like we got much choice at this point, right? And yeah, obviously there are 4 endings. Like, I'm going to be showcasing them all, but I'll tell you right now that we have 4 endings, depending on those choices we've been making. We obviously, when we're running from the darkness, we can either go to Lily or to Chase, and depending on how we treated them, each of them has their good and bad ending, making for 4 in total. We've been treating both pretty well, so I'll be showcasing first the 2 good endings, I think, and then I'll do a separate playthrough so we can see both the bad endings. What a bummer, huh? Yeah, sorry, but I wouldn't be able to muster up this kind of optimism if I really tried. I like how she is going to say that she's not claustrophobic, and then she's going to tell us a whole childhood story about a trauma that literally made her claustrophobic. It's not a genuine fault of the game like some of the other things I've been mentioning. It's just something I found funny. Very competitive person. That's at least a nice attitude to have, and whoa, I did not expect that, but I certainly don't mind it either. Oh, god damn it. I think from all the context clues, it should be pretty obvious that you're being sacrificed right now, dude. Come on, I think you should be able to tell. God damn, she's strong. That's some nice judo moves there. Holy, okay. Now that's some nice judo. Holy shit. Well, she ain't exactly innocent, but she should serve as a good sacrifice for her own god, right? Get what you deserve, bitch. But yeah, we should probably, yeah. Well, that's the understatement of the year right there. She was fucking superhuman. For someone that was so scared before, she was a real girl boss, holy. Sure ain't. Yeah, like they can do anything. Well, seems like Lily has a better idea than the protagonist. Though that is kinda fair, and it ties into the whole thing of like the themes of the game of associating like eldritch horrors with color blindness, since if you didn't notice, the protagonist is color blind, the main differential of this game when it came out. And it's a interesting parallel of things that were always there but you just couldn't see it. And yeah, it's just a cool concept that I think they utilize well here. And to be fair, that is the right attitude, I think, about this kind of thing. Chase is dead, by the way. And before you ask, no, you can't save both of them. You have to choose an ending and save only one, unfortunately. Now off to Chase's ending. I don't know if I'll be showcasing like that, but maybe I'll leave it for you to experience, like when, because you will be doing that when you go and play the game. Or maybe I'll show it in this video, who knows. I guess you just have to keep watching to find out. And now let's run to try and save Chase instead. I really don't, but I guess I don't exactly have a choice. Yeah, I guess me and the protagonist's minds are pretty aligned there. Oh, don't worry, something's going to happen pretty soon, I think. And I hope you've been keeping up with your judo. Well, ain't that wholesome? God damn it, I knew Chase was suspicious. Come on, man. Title drop. Oh, damn. Okie my man. After what we went through, I don't blame you. Sure you did, dude. I sure believe you didn't just have a change of heart at the last minute. I was going to say that I prefer this ending to the. No, actually, I was going to say that I prefer Lily's ending to Chase's, but I think both have their pros and cons. And they're both, like, significantly different from one another, which is, again, what I like. That the author really put effort into the alternate scenarios. And now it's time to start making the bad choices so we can get the bad endings. I actually don't remember, like, because even back then when I played this game as a kid, I didn't want to make the bad choices. I just got the best endings in my first playthrough just because I like being the hero or the nice guy in these kinds of games. So it would be pretty interesting, I think, to see the responses people have to you being a creep or an asshole. Damn, that's cold. Now let's try the strategy I've employed when I was in high school. God damn, those were some embarrassing years. Hell yeah. Another one to add to the list of these that is too long to count for me at this point. Anyway, I feel like this is the choice that's going to lead to the bad ending. Oh, you dick. Now I don't feel bad about leaving you to die. Fuck you. Then I'm being a real asshole in this playthrough, Jesus. Though, not really. It's still kind of keeping it to the level of, like normal banter between friends. It's just not as nice as on the better route. But I wouldn't really call the protagonist a bad person, even at this point. Just kind of awkward and a bit mean, just like me. Anyway, so does that mean that in this kind of situation, I would be getting the bad ending? Since these are the choices I would actually make in this situation. Oh god, this is leading me down a path I like down a line of thought I really didn't want to engage in. It's making me really uncomfortable. Let's just continue. Yeah, I guess the like bad end choices aren't going to involve being the good end choices are certainly better, less awkward, less creepy, less mean, but I guess even in the bad end choices, you aren't going to be too much of a bad person. It's obviously going to vary, and that different perception that you're going to cause on people is going to lead to a different ending, but it's not like it's going to like change the character or make him into like too much of a different person than in the good end route. Like every one of the supposedly creepy choices or mean choices, let's be real, aren't that bad. This is a bit creepy, but let's be real, it's what you'd probably expect a awkward and surprised teenager to say. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent again. Oh, but this is interesting. We can already see like some changes even before the endings. Like in the one where you talk to her and are a bit less creepy about like describing her dress. She tells you to stay because she feels more safe with you around because she like knows you and has had like friendly conversation and she has a better option of you and stuff. But now she just tells you her name before you try to leave. It's a small change, again, most of these choices, but it's appreciated that your choices actually do matter, that they actually change, even if minor stuff. It's cool. It's one of the game's highlights, like I said. And it's nice that I can actually demonstrate like that to you right now. You know, so I can actually show the good parts of the game and why I liked it so much. But yeah, now things I think are going to be mostly the same, aside from the choices and a couple of dialogues, I guess. Uh, anyway, let's just continue already. Then now we're really going into like horror movie police mode with that kind of excuse after everything we see. That was a good option. I don't know. I think especially with how we've interacted with her up to this point, she should find that creepy, but bit surprising. But anyway, I guess that means that you don't have need to have a perfect run for the good ending. Just need to answer a certain amount of questions right, not all of them. She's pretty good game design in my opinion. But anyway, now that I think about it, he says that the well is locked and boarded up. The key should unlock the lock, obviously, but how did he get the boards off? Kinda weird. Mm. Well, this is different. This is a weird development. Since we're on the bad end route, maybe she's trying to seduce him in order to do something like take advantage of him now. I don't know. This is. Let's see. Let's see. The hell was that dialogue, man? What the heck? Since she isn't using her judo superpowers, I guess this is the ending where she's like, it's a completely alternate reality where she's just a hoe apparently, given the previous dialogue, because otherwise this doesn't make any sense. And we both just die, I guess. So that girl was right to accuse you. God damn it, man. Well, no, guess Lily is the only one who was actually a victim in this bad ending. That's weird. I was sure I remember there being an ending where you die and she escapes, but maybe it needs some more specific conditions. I'm gonna have to see this later. So I was doing a bit of research, and apparently the whole ending I remembered, the bad ending I remembered for Lily, where she judo chops everyone and then simply does not rescue you, was just like Mandela effect thing I was having. I was just remembering that wrong, and that was never real. So yeah, doesn't exactly feel right to be on this side of the Mandela effect, but I guess there's not much more to that. I just remembered it wrong. Shame. I remembered it being a pretty awesome thing and not just her being a hoe. But anyway, now let's get to the ending where Chase is actually a traitor. Not really, but I bet you do. I know you weren't exactly secretive about that, you know? Well, those are some pretty smug evil eyes. Oh, you bastard. Thought wrong, bucko. Come on, I was just a little bit mean, come on. Damn, this bitch even took the opportunity to replace the principal. God damn. One thing I will criticize is that the whole excuse, I guess, or explanation for why the game is in black and white is that we have a colorblind protagonist. So since we're not following his perspective right now, I can understand from a technical standpoint, but from an artistic and storytelling standpoint, this should all be colored in order to contrast with when we were seeing things from his perspective. Or maybe the explanation is that his mom is also colorblind, since they said that the gene generally comes from the mom side. I don't know. But he did say that, yeah, it's just a flaw. I'm just making excuses for the game. It's just a flaw that the author didn't account for. And that will be it for today. If you like this video, please do all the normal YouTube stuff. You know, like, comment, subscribe, etc. And I genuinely do hope to see you next time. If you really liked it, I'd also really appreciate if you could support me financially, either through a one-time paid comment donation or by joining my membership, where for $1 a month, you get to participate in exclusive polls in order to decide which videos I'll make next. Like, which of my plans should I focus on? Which of the content I have in mind do you want to see first? You know, that kind of thing. As well as get your name put in this fancy little screen right here. You know, just as a small gesture of appreciation, exactly for your monthly support. But of course, no matter how much you choose to give me, as well as if you choose to give me anything at all, do know that I really appreciate any cent you're willing to throw my way, as well as just the fact that you're watching this video up to this point at all. But with all that stuff out of the way, I think it's finally time to, as always, bid you guys farewell. Obscure Anime out.